Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be recreating Hailey Bieber's date night makeup routine. She recently did a beauty secrets video with Vogue. I just posted a new video today and someone commented on my video asking if I could recreate one of Hailey Bieber's looks. I pretty much don't have anything that Hailey Bieber used except for the Kosas concealer and the Kosas powder. So I am going to be using those two products in today's video. But for everything else, I was able to pull products that I feel like might be dupes, like kind of dupes, I don't know. Basically, I'm just using what I already have, and I really tried to make sure that my alternative products were all affordable because the products that she was using in her video were all high-end. Like some of them were very high-end, like Chanel foundation, Tom Ford. So yeah, I don't have those types of products in my collection, so I am just using what I have to recreate her date night look, and a lot of them happen to be really affordable as well. I'm skipping over the skincare and going straight into the makeup. Hailey uses a Chanel foundation, but she did mention that she likes her foundations to be very glowy, so I picked the Milani Screen Queens foundation. I kind of felt like the packaging was a little bit similar too, so I kind of just went off of that. I have mine in the shade Nude Bisque. I'm gonna do 2 pumps of that foundation. Something interesting that Hailey did to her foundation was mix it in with a serum. So I just took a random serum from my bathroom and I'm going to mix the foundation and the serum together. Hopefully these mix well. She did put the mixture in the palm of her hand, and I feel like I probably should have done that because she also blends it in with her hands, and I don't love that. That's not my favorite way of applying foundation, but we're gonna do it. That might have been a little too much serum. Like my ratio might have been a little off, but it seems like she doesn't really go for very full coverage anyway, so I think it's fine. I love how this feels though. It doesn't feel like I'm smearing makeup all over my skin. It feels like I'm smearing a serum. So I really like that method for shearing it out, and I feel like that looks pretty good. Yeah. The concealer Hailey uses is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I know that the concealer was popular before her, but I really think that she put this concealer on the map for people who weren't already familiar with Kosas. I took a screenshot of where she places her concealer, so I'm going to recreate that. I don't have plans on purchasing her skincare line, Hailey Bieber's skincare line, although I am a bit interested in the lip serum, and especially because they come in tinted versions, so I could definitely see myself picking that up one day. Probably won't pick up anything from her skincare line, but I am not as offended by it like I am with some like celebrity makeup brands. I think it makes a lot more sense than like Kim Kardashian's new skin line, which is just so silly. The prices of that line are like outrageous too. They are so expensive. It's kind of shocking. I ended up placing the concealer on a few blemishes too. It didn't really look like Hailey had any extra concealing, so her skin really is so pretty. Which I don't think her skin looks pretty because of her skincare line. I think that she probably just has good genetics and like gets to afford the best facials and cosmetic procedures. I'm loving this base though, so Hailey does know how to put on a good base. I really like the idea of mixing serum in with foundation. I used to mix foundation in with my moisturizers like all the time. I'm watching the video as I'm doing all this too, and I forgot that she did this as well. I don't know how. She must be running out of this concealer because the one on mine picks up so much product or just carries so much product, but she's able to like put the smallest amount on hers. But I'm gonna blend this out too. For bronzer, I just grabbed my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Golden Days. This is just a good old trusty drugstore bronzer that looks gorgeous on the skin. always. Hailey uses a Tom Ford bronzer, And I think like a lot of people have that bronzer and they really enjoy it, but I just can't get on board with that price point. It's like $100 for a bronzer and a highlight. So yeah, I already know I'm going to love this look. I love how natural Hailey Bieber's makeup always looks. She's just gorgeous, like naturally a gorgeous human being. The eyes were a little bit more challenging for me, but I think that it'll end up working out and looking similar enough to what Hailey did. I really wish that e.l.f. would bring this product back. It's just a matte liquid eyeshadow in the shade Blushing Rose, and I feel like it would be a perfect dupe for that REM Beauty eyeshadow. But because I want you all to be able to actually find the products that I'm using, I'm going to be mixing together these two shadows from Sephora. I do think that it's going to end up looking a little bit more brown instead of pink, but I did grab my Pacifica eyeshadow palette in the shade Pink Nudes. So I think between these shadow options, I'll be able to get a pretty similar look. So she really just applied the product in the center of the eye, and she said that a little bit goes a long way. Of course, we're using different products. We'll see, I might need to add a little bit more. And then, yeah, she just blended it all out with her fingers. That looks a little bit pink. I think I want to add like a little bit more of the darker brown. Did not even say what these were. These are the Sephora Sheer Liquid Shadows, and I'm using the shade Matte Russet and then the shade Matte Almond. I like these shadows. I think that they are pretty good quality. I think that the Sephora collection overall, they make some pretty good stuff. And they're like the most affordable brand at Sephora. I think that's similar enough, especially because Hailey and I have different coloring. I'm going to take this pinky shade on a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to kind of run it into the crease and a little bit over what we did. This is like a little bit deeper than what Hailey has, but it's similar enough. It's similar enough. That's my thing. Similar enough. Next, Hailey went in with a Kylie Cosmetics palette, and she used like a light brown shade. I'm going to take this light brown shade from my Pacifica palette. I'm going to tap off quite a bit, and I'm just going to be super light with this in the crease, just because my look is already a little bit deeper than Hailey's. So far, I love it. I love looks like this kind of color, and just like the softness. Next, Hailey added a little bit of sparkle to her lid. She used a Rowan Beauty eyeshadow palette. I don't have any of those eyeshadows, but I did look up swatches of that palette, and I felt like the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow and a Little Quirky looked similar to it. I just picked up a little bit of it on my finger, and I'm going to press it in the center of my lids. But I want to make sure it's like a lighter amount, because Hailey didn't really apply too much of it. I think she really just did it for a small pop of color. I think that they filmed these on like digital cameras or like even their phones maybe. So you can't really see too well, but I think that's similar enough to what she had going on. And then Hailey took that brown shade from that Kylie palette and put it back into her crease a little bit. So I'm just taking that brown from my Pacifica palette and doing that same thing. Also, she had a little bit of color underneath of her eyes, and I forgot to do that. But it was like barely anything, so I'm just taking whatever is left on my blending brush and I'm putting it underneath. This is such a pretty look already. She was talking about how she thinks less is more with makeup, and I agree. I love that philosophy with makeup, because every time I overdo it, or like anytime I overdo it with the coverage or just like the eyeshadow or anything, I don't feel my best. I don't feel my most confident, and I always feel like it's a mistake. Yeah, my look is definitely more brown than like the pinky rosiness that Hailey has, but I think it's still really flattering, and it's kind of like in the same family. Hailey curled her lashes next and then applied some mascara. This is the Milani Highly Rated Mascara. It has slowly become one of my favorite mascaras. I say slowly because it's been in my collection for a hot minute, and I never gave it the time of day. But recently I've been grabbing it so much. I also think that Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber are one of the cutest celebrity couples, and I know that they've had their ups and downs. I feel like people hated on them so much in the beginning. You know, you have a lot of Selena fans that are real haters. Still to this day, I think it's so sad because, like, you know, two people can really love each other, especially like in their youth, and then, you know, go their separate ways, and it can be sad for both parties, but, you know, you grow and you get over it and you move on. And I feel like Justin has moved on. Obviously I'm not like in his circle, I don't actually know, but like I feel like he has moved on, and Selena's moved on, and Hailey has moved on, and like everyone is just doing their thing, and Hailey and Justin deserve to be, you know, happy with each other. Which it seems like they are. I actually think that they are so adorable. I kind of love that they like can't do things without each other. Like, I love that anytime you see a picture of Justin, he's with Hailey. I think that you see like Hailey by herself quite a bit, but I think it's so cute that Justin is like just so public with Hailey, and he loves having her around, it seems. You know, I'm speaking from what I see on the internet. Was Hailey this heavy-handed with the mascara? I don't know. I hope that one day Selena Gomez sends Hailey a Rare Beauty PR box though, because you know that girl is so desperate to use it. Like, you know Hailey is looking at the Sephora app wishing she could use some Rare Beauty because it is so up her alley. Like, you know she wants to use those blushes. I'm going to apply some product in my brows. Hailey Bieber just used a clear brow gel in her brows and nothing else. That's not my journey, so I am just applying some NYX brow glue through my brows, and then I'm going to add a little bit of color to them at some point. But yeah, Hailey just did clear brow gel, so good for her. But I will not be participating in that. Wait, should I? I did just get my brows done, and this does not look half bad. I'm like skipping through the video, and I saw something that looked like mascara. I thought mascara was next, but I've accidentally got those two mixed up. It's okay. We're moving on. Next, Hailey applied a cream blush from Makeup Forever. The blush was very, very pink. So I pulled out my Undone Beauty Lip to Cheek palette in Bubble, and then I also pulled out the shade Flare. I kind of felt like Bubble was a little bit too pink compared to the blush that she had. So I think mixing Flare and Bubble will create a pretty similar blush to the one that Hailey used. That is so much pinker than I usually wear. We'll try it though. I'm just picking up a little bit on my brush and applying it. Hailey also goes over this blush with a powder blush. We'll see how that goes. I don't do that. I don't mix my blushes like that. Did she put some on her nose? Okay, perfect. She did put some on her nose. She put it on like the bridge of her nose, which I love that look, so we're doing that. I love this look so far. In certain lighting, the eyeshadow does pull like a little bit rosy, but it's really quite brown, and I do apologize for that because it's not like the best recreation, but again, using what I have. I actually have a really good dupe for the Dior Backstage blush that Hailey Bieber used. So this is the Essence Mosaic blush in the shade Berry Connection, and this is an actual dupe. Like, people have duped this, and I'm a little nervous. I don't layer blushes like this. I'm always afraid, but oh, that's cute. Okay. Okay, Hailey. I love that Hailey seems like a blush girl, because me too. Next, Hailey does a little bit of highlight. I'm using my NYX High Gloss Illuminating Powder in the shade Moon Glow. This has been with me for so long. And I'm just highlighting the cheekbones. Where does she highlight? Hailey highlights the cheekbones, so very standard. Also highlights the brow bone. And then bridge of the nose. I'm not gonna do my brows. I'm just gonna leave them. Hailey is so inspiring. She's such an inspiration. For lip liner, Hailey used a Makeup Forever lip liner, and she said that she uses that lip liner because it matches her natural lip color really well. So the Milani Color Statement lip liner in 04 matches my natural lip color really well, so that's what I'm going to use. And she said that she overlines a little bit. She has really great lips, which, are they lip filler? They look like lip filler lips, but they look really good. So someone let me know if that's lip filler. I feel like at this point, what celebrity doesn't have lip filler? Which is kind of a sad reality, you know? I used to think that I was going to have lip filler one day, and I never ended up getting it. And I'm really happy that I never ended up doing that, because I feel like once you get started with something like that, you can't stop. And I think I would have had a problem with that. Like, I would have not been able to stop. And that's such a expensive habit. This is when Hailey applied her new Lip Peptide lip gloss product. I don't have it. I think maybe I'll get it. I am very drawn to it. Anytime I see it, I want it. So I probably will get it one day. Again, I don't think I'm really interested in any of her other skincare, but I respect it. I respect the line. It's fine. Don't come out with a makeup line though, Hailey. Please don't. Just stick to skincare. The lip treatment that she used was clear. I pulled out a colored one because her lips looked so perfect. So I just wanted to make sure that like mine looked similar to that. And the Lano Lips Tinted Lip Balm I think will give me the most similar look to whatever her lips were looking like. Again, this one's just like the lip liner. This is like a My Lips But Better kind of situation. Can't even tell I put anything like colored on my lips. Next, Hailey set her skin with the Kosas Cloud Set. She seemed very intentional with where she put her powder, so I will be as well. She just kind of put it wherever she said that like her makeup will crease. So I'm putting my powder there as well, which is like under the eyes for me, around the nose. By the way, I love this look. I've already said it before, but I love this look. I even like the blush a lot. Like, I never use that blush shade from Undone, or just in general. Like, I don't use pinks like that, but this is a very flattering color. And yeah, she just had that all over. Hailey did not set her skin with setting spray, and that's just not how I live my life. Here's the final look. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I think that this is a great look. Even though the eye look isn't looking exactly like Hailey's, I think that it's like a good take on it, especially, you know, because we do have different coloring and everything. You know, it's a little different. It's a little bit more brown, but the message is there. It's similar enough. I love the base. I think that that blush combo was so pretty. I loved the foundation and serum mixing that was going on. I'd love to try that out with some different products. And I cannot believe I was influenced by Miss Hailey Bieber to not do any brow color in my brows, because this is a kind of a look. Like, it looks really good. Thank you so much, Love Music 22, for suggesting that I do a Hailey Bieber inspired look, or like recreating one of her looks. I really enjoyed doing this video, and the fact that this makeup just looks so good, and I have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go, looking just this good, so that sucks. That is going to be it from me today though. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If there are any celebrity looks or any of the Beauty Secret Vogue videos you want me to recreate, please leave those suggestions down below. I do really enjoy doing looks like these and just videos like these. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I will see you next time.